Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Right, cool, already messed that up. We're back over in Lancaster. This is the house for the 100k home cinema upstairs. This is the downstairs lower edition home cinema. This is obviously just for TV, whatever. A few people couldn't quite wrap their head around why there's that up there and then you're doing a similar thing down here, because that up there is for movies, quality stuff, fabulous. It's the cinema experience. If you just want to watch Netflix, you come down here. And if you've got the money and the know-how and you know what you like to do this, then why not? I'd do the same thing, but I'm not a millionaire. So anyway, what we're doing is carrying on with the sockets, which we didn't get time to the last time. I've got a few spurs to do up here. I've got a few spurs to do down there. We've got two subwoofer coax outlets that I've got special crimps for and all that lovely stuff. We're going to put the speakers on the wall. You can see one behind us the customer did last time, just to show us how it is and what it does and all that. And then we're going to do the trunking on the outside that finally turned up the day after I left. Run through with you guys what the customer now wants to do with the fuse board, which is very different and very cool, and hopefully I'm allowed to do it and film it for you. Fabulous. And I was ashamed of myself last time for the amount of mess I've made. So I've gone out and purchased myself two more Dusty Boys. These are the slightly smaller ones than the one I already got. Dusty Boys sent me these years ago, the big ones, but they're out of stock all the time. So I bought two of the smaller ones. I think I paid £100 for both of them, I think. We've got loads of the Velocity ones. We've got the big Hoover, vacuum, whatever. So we can keep it clean, we can keep it tidy. I was very ashamed from editing the video from here last time of how much mess I made. So we've got a lovely tool set up, we've got our charging station, we've got our tester, we've got our tools, we've got everything we need. Shut up and crack on. So on your far right is the socket we're coming off for the two sockets under here. Kept doing this in zones as best we can. It's always difficult doing sockets within an alcove of a window where you can't go straight up. It has to go side to side. And then this side, we've got one up here that's just coming off there. So I was at Elex and I ran into the Quick Fit JB people, which are these. And I've seen them around for ages. I remember when they first came out, they did send me some and I was like, oh yeah, all right. And that's as far as it went. But they've given me and said they would like to do some promotional stuff at some point. But I said, yeah, but I need to double check that I like it and it's worth the money and everything like that. So they've given me some tasters, delicious, to have a go with, so we can run through that, give you my honest thoughts. To find the socket that I need, I'm going to be using this. I've not used it for ages. It's a TIS, it's a socket finder. So you put that, oh, you're going to tell me the batteries are flat now, aren't you? We're back up and running. Customer had one. Yes. I knew he would. And there we go. It's because I left it on forever by looks of it in the van, so. I don't know what the NCV means. Oh. So that's plugged in, breaker test. I'm going to go around with this, and I'm not sure if it's fine or it's NCV. I've not used this in years. I'll show you. So what you're meant to do is run it across the breakers one time. And now that's registered itself, it should find. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right, that just been a waste of time. We stick this in and click the RCD trip. Done. I then took out sockets. Right, it was flashing up that stupid thing that it was that one, so it wasn't far off. I'm just going to get a lock and off kit on that. Just to prove a point. I said, customer supplied the materials. We've got two double sockets here, and the ring has already been extended down to the to the bottom one, hence the connector blocks here. So I've pulled this out. The customer's also asked if we just keep these both, because I was just going to do a ring to here and do a spur. No, we want a ring to both, not an issue. So this leg here, that's been extended. Disconnect that. That will be pulled all the way through to the far one. We'll have the link here, and then the link back to the bottom one here to create a ring off what we've already got. So that just means customers supply the cable, like I said, hence why I'm using this. What we'll do is just measure from here down to our first one, cut that off, tape it onto here, and then we'll just run it together to get to that point. Leave that one where it is, drag that one across, and once that's snipped, we'll attach another one to do the link to it, so we've got a full ring. I've just realised that's the cable for 1mm. Oh. That is all done and on. Obviously I'm not powering up yet. Need to get the tester out, which is there. No, it's there. We're going to try and figure this out. So what I can presume, and the customer does, so this was already in here before, this stack, that the metal one at the bottom and the metal one at the top are original, and then the plastic ones are afterthoughts, we think. I only say that because the one above here was a metal one, and then when they've extended the ring down, they've put a plastic one in below, which makes sense that we had one originally, we've gone down, so then we've extended that side. But looking in and round, I can see a 2.5 there, which would make sense that it's up and looped down, which would be maybe that one, I don't know, because there's a considerable amount of dab, but if there's dab and it's within the dab, then it makes sense that it was done prior. I just don't quite understand the difference of all the different types. So as with, the customer wants to get rid of the 2 fast fixes. Yes, I said we can use the quick JB thingies, but realistically, if we can just take the cables to where we want them and not do any joints in the wall, that's going to be the better option all around. So that one is that one. We also found the other day that there's another one that floats off. And we presume it's to that, but I mean, the zonings is impeccable here, so it goes from that one across to that. That's what it looks like. So that's the bottom of our broken ring. This is the top of our broken ring. See, and that's got 2 in it, so it can't be that one. So what the hell does that go to? But then to confuse things more, this cable that goes into this isn't connected to this. Right, new plan. This is coming out. This is going to poke out here for the time being until we know what it is and what it does. It's going to remain dead. These are the 2 rings. Just spoke to the customer. We're going to move this socket up to here so we have no joints. Absolutely fabulous. And then this link here is the cable that just crawls around and goes back into zones. But technically, with it going round, same thing I had to do with the ones down there. It's still within zone, so it is covered. So these 2 are on. I've gone up, I've put the fuse spur on, we've stripped it. So this one and that one up there is the ring, and this is our new one here. I've just got the tester out because we're just going to do some ring ends to double check everything, make sure I'm happy. We're going to use one of these. So they've actually given me a variety. So this one is the JBU, which is just what essentially is a through box, same as that one. This is a through box, but it's the JB3, so you've got 3 terminals, which you can get 3 3-way Wagos in it. This one's a 4. Can I do it with one hand? Can I do it with one hand? Yes. So obviously then you've got your live, your neutral, your earth, and then you've got your loop. That one's a 4. This one here is a JB32, which is, so this, by the looks of it, if it's any difference in size, I just wasn't sure if that takes the bigger Wagos. Designed for Wagos 221413. Max cable is 3 times 25 mil. Okay, does it say it on that? Max cable is 4 times 2.5. Max cable in is 4. So these are for lights. That's 1.5. That can take 2.5. That can take 1.5. So it just says what's what on it. So if we're just going to do this now, yeah, we'll use that one. So it just snaps in. So the one chosen is the JBU, and I'm going to do these ones, but because it's all the way up there, I will just show you before and after. So we've got our readings, fabulous. And then that's it in there. It's nice, plenty of room. I've just done the straight through Wagos, on and done, screwed, and that's just that. So that's on the ring as well. Right, your turn. had to put these in because the plugs just weren't holding it. The problem is you've got to drill a 15mm hole for these. But all the drill bits I've got are all 14 or 16, so. It back, then you twist the internal bit, which turns the metal bits out. Push, twist. Right, so you guys can see. So it sits like that. Once it's in the wall, you push it, and as you twist that tiny little bit in the middle, it flares them out. And it only comes with tiny little screws. Oh, the new one. And credit where credit's due. That is strong. Right. For now, that is me completed in here. Let me whiz you around. So lasers out. These are all on, absolutely everywhere. So in a few of the places, like the one I recorded just for you, which for me was about an hour ago, which was them like opening up pluggy things. That one was the original one that the customer did with massive screws into the brickwork going across. This one here, there was one original big screw put in, so I've had to leave that in because the plug's too big, and this is straight into the brickwork. And then coming across to this side, I've had to whiz a big screw again, and coming across, what I ended up doing was doing a 6mm bit, but to get it deep enough to go into the plaster, instead of using the smaller Fisher ones, which are these ones, which we normally use, I used the customer's ones, which are these ones, snipped the last bit of grey off, hammered them into the wall, and out of all the fixings that we've done, this is by far the strongest one of what I've just done last, but it is what it is. So other than the last little 2 subwoofer outlets down there, I'm going to jump into the porch now and do some fixing in there. It is the next day. Completely forgot to carry on recording yesterday. Too busy, too involved, Control 4 stuff, having a good chat. So yesterday, I got to wire in my first Control 4 switch. So there is several different ways that the customer's explained that you can do it. So I'm going to try and do it a little bit more, whether or not it's in my own house or whatever. But what the customer said to me, if you wanted to do, so if I was to rewire a house, you could, in theoretically, just run a data cable to every light switch with no power. That will all go back to a module in a comms cab or wherever. It would all plug in. That would then be the brains going to another Control 4 module. Just bear with me, I'm trying to remember. And the light switches which you have here work off Zigbee anyway, but you could do it that way, which would control the lights. Obviously, you would just have to do a permanent supply from the control panel to individual rooms, set them up as zones, that sort of thing. I said if I was going to do it, I would always make sure I've ran the cable in normally 240, where we'd do loop in, loop out the switch, and a switch live going out. So you could then turn around and get a light switch, because they all pretty much look the same anyway, they've got different backs to them. So if you wanted to change things or sell a house, or it's just not working for you, you could just turn around and just change the switch over. You've got the cable in there, you can do it that way. Or there's other ways. Is what we're about to do now is, right, so this is the puck thing I was on about. It's a wireless dimmer module, live neutral in the top, and you know the supply to the light, and then you've got overrides to do other switches. We're not using them, but that is going in this up there with these and this, and the customer ran this in, and I'll show you. It's lovely, and I want to do this myself at some point. But this is the control module. So you would do off the fuse board, a 16 amp supply in, and then it's divided by the 4 different ones. This is the thing that goes individually to each room as its own zone or whatever. This then plugs in to the top to another Control 4 module, which plugs into the internet, and that's the brains. This is the power. That's the sort of thing. But I am going to have a play with one of these at some point, because it is starting to tickle a little fancy. So out the front, the customers had a porch built, lovely jubbly, except for the wood. That's all being redone because whoever did it did an awful job, as you can see. Here and here, and anyway. When it was being built, the customer put some 25mm metal flexi conduit and then put some ends on it, which you can see here. So this will then gland into the fitting. Worst case, if it doesn't, you could just cut that flush and have the cables all run in singles. So you've got one either side, and then you've got a center one here. So the plan with these, this is the center light, which we're going to do a little pendant for today, because the other lights haven't turned up. Obviously, there's work to be done. These are left and right of the pillar lights. So we're going to get them all within the enclosure. I picked this up last night. This is the Whisker 1610. We can do our own cutout. There's loads of positions that we can put it on. I'm not going to be cutting any of the flexi. It's just going to be pushed back so the slack is there. I'm trying to find in a few positions. Ideally, I'd like to put a piece of wood and screw it there so you can do maintenance on it. We can do top entry. And then yesterday, this is what I did. So this has a 3-core and earth running to what is a fuse spur off the line circuit to here. So we reuse that to give a permanent supply to the lights in the porch that you've just seen. Sorry, the internal porch. This is the external porch, these ones. But we do have the black that's in it off the 3-core is now off the internal smart switch for the center light. So that's what we're going to pinch off there. So we're going to run another 3-core out of here into this as well. For the one socket that's in the corner of the porch, we tapped into the garage sockets, which are below. It's currently on a radial, but what was running was a ring. So this is one leg of the ring, and this one here is the other leg. So we chopped in, did that, and then some point when we're back again, we're going to pinch another cable from here all the way back to the fuse board to actually put the garage on a ring. So let's get this down, let's get this cut. So I need 3 25mm holes and a 20mm hole for a stuffing gland for the cable entry. That should do it. Come on. Because I took it off yesterday in anger because I hit the back of the drill knocking them screws in and took a chunk out of my hand because I hit it like that. That's cool. Right, I don't know how much of that footage you're going to see. Recorded the whole thing and then realised that I'm ended up, guys, now recording, honestly, nearly 2 hours worth of footage for each video and trying to pick the best bits up. So the last 2 lives I've got in my hand here are the 2 wall lights. They should be going in here, obviously, but it's not currently because I'm not going to make it live because that all needs doing. And it's the same thing with these 2 here. These 2 are the 2 neutrals for the wall lights, so I'm just getting the sizes up, putting it all in position for when it is a finished product. We're completely separating those 2 lights away from any live cables that are in and done. We've still got an earth to them, we haven't got a live or a neutral. So in theory that's done. These 2 cables that come down will come into the back of the puck on the load side out. Like I say, you've got bits and bobs to do other type of switching that I don't know of, and my light's just gone flat. So essentially that is it. I'm just going to wire up this side for the supply, but first of all I'm just going to get the pendant up, get this all done, and we'll see if, and give it a go. Just to mention with the box the way it is not staying like that. That is not nice, but the customer's on a call at the moment so I can't speak to them. I've got it up out the way to a point where we can put some bit of ply on it to support it, but yeah, it's not going to stay like that, I promise. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea where we got to. It's 3:30 now. Keep getting pulled pillar to post with different pulling this and that and cables, guys, cables. So with this is on. So what we did is, what I like about it is the default setting when you press this on and off is when it turns itself off, it's a nice little dim. And this is the first customer I've worked for that have the 3-pin lighting sockets. So there's have lamps plugged in everywhere, so you can just turn that on and off from there. Different. And then the one by the front door, I've got to be careful. I've got to lock myself out then. And then this one here, oops, is now a light fitting up there for the time being. Obviously it's not an IP rated fitting, but it's under an enclosure, so we're fine. There's other things I was going to show you, but I can't remember. We've been using a bit of this upstairs, some lube, to pull the cables in. Million cables. We've just spent the last 45 minutes. So we've got 2 alarm cables here and a data that date he was going to do the curtain rails for the front door. But they've been pulled, drilled through the angle that I've done up there into this loft space, pulled it across. I've then gone down and stuck 5 rods down the soil stack all the way from the loft where the comms cab is, all the way down to then get a draw wire. So as and when the customer wants to pull these up, that is all in itself. And then last but not least, hang on, let me show you the trunking outside in a second. But one of the jobs that the customer wants me to do, which I'm really excited about, is this. So currently we have in, what's that? Let's go for 18 way. It's an old Hager board that's been upgraded with RCBOs and an SPD. What he wants to do with all the different stuff in the house, potentially there's 3-phase being fitted to the property that is solely going to be for car chargers, and this is going to be kept a single phase. So we can split this. He wants 2 fuse boards, and this is a dabbed a cavity all behind that leads onto the meter cab. So we want a skeleton board, which is a flush mounted fuse board that backs on into the wall with all just 32 amp circuits on this, and then the one above, another fuse board that's just going to be same thing, a skeleton board, but I think that's just going to be 6 amp and 16 amp, possibly just 16 amp. Like I said, all the lighting in this place is run off control 4, so it could go to one of the modules that I showed you, this one that's on the floor down here that I definitely didn't knock off the side. I promise it was put there. So yeah, there's potential for that. Let me just show you the trunking. Last but not least, the aircon trunking all in. Someone's definitely going to shout at me saying that's not how you fit the bottom shoe to stop the water going in. Don't worry, 2 tubes of silicone later, no water's getting in, but it's a nice little finish. And then there's just 2 daters on the left that are going to come across here to this access point. Just got back home, 6:30. None of you lot care. It's fine. I don't know why I keep telling everyone the time. If you like me telling you guys the time, let me know, because I don't know why I keep doing it. Anyway, had a wonderful 2 days, got loads done. Not quite sure how the video is going to turn out purely. I was jumping between job and this and that, up, loft, down, out, in, out, all that sort of stuff. Ladder on, ladder off, fill the van up, and anyway, we're back there soon. The customer's got a hideously big list for me of stuff to do. And essentially, what I went there today was to put the trunk in, yesterday was to put the trunk in on, just tick some boxes from the last 2 days that we were there, and run some power and a cat cable to all the motors for all the electronic blinds that go into the kitchen. We didn't get any of that done, but we did some other stuff. So we will record some stuff next time. So thank you very much for watching. Drop a like if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye. Also to the customer, I won't say your name, but it was your birthday today, so happy birthday.